Written and directed by British filmmaker Shane Meadows, This Is England follows a young boy named Sean whose father died in the Falklands War. One day when coming home from school, he encounters a gang of skinheads in a local underpass who quickly befriend him and bring him into the gang as one of their own. When things seem all good and well, Combo, played by Stephen Graham, returns to the group after serving a lengthy time in prison, bringing with him a mentality of racism and hatred towards the government and the immigrants that occupy the United Kingdom. Half the group are opposed to the message that he's preaching, but he successfully manipulates the lead character Sean, using the fact that his father died in the Falklands War as a reason to join his cause. And from there on we see Sean, Combo and their half of the group transcend into the racist and xenophobic behaviours that we commonly link to skinhead culture today.
2 fucking world wars. Men have laid down their lives for this. For this, and for what? So we can stick our fucking flag in the ground and say, yeah, this is England. And this is England, and this is England.
It's a smart move by Meadows to remind us that skinheads were not always related to racism. He makes his characters so human, even the antagonists. They all appear to have a believable depth, and they all seem to have a reason to be doing what they're doing, but the movie respects the audience enough to not force what these reasons are. As the story goes, Meadows provided all of the actors with 2-page backstories so that they understood the depth of their characters, but the movie didn't have to flesh it out. Even the negative forces driving the movie are somewhat likeable due to their humanity. A fine example of this would be a scene where Combo talks to Sean in the car about what it's like to not have a father figure and lets him know that he'll always be there for him.
I know what it's like. To have people walk out on you. To have people just fucking leave you. It's honest, lad. I know how you feel.
Small scenes like these go a long way in establishing that characters are not only good nor bad, it's perfectly possible to be a mixture of both. As misguided as their intentions may be, we can kind of understand why they ended up there. And as for the message of racism, whereas movies like Romper Stomper and American History X have multiple beatings of characters you don't actually know or care about, the movie does a great job at slowly building an underlying feeling that everything is leading to a bleak, violent end, and successfully makes you care about one single beating, as opposed to a barrage throughout the whole movie. This is another clever move by Shane Meadows. The threat of violence consumes the whole movie, but it's clever enough to hold off until it knows that the audience are invested enough in the specific character so that the beating actually means something and it's not just a display of random violence. The backdrop of the Falklands War and Thatcherism carries throughout the whole movie. It's actually the driving point of the main character, but again, this doesn't come to the forefront of the story, it simply exists to show the period in which it's in. To accompany that, Shane Meadows decided to film using Super 16 film, similar to that of Quadrophenia, to give a movie a look of the period in which it's set. Despite the film's violent intentions, the film's able to pull off comedy, drama, romance and the feeling of family all underneath the hate in an unforced manner. It's said that the film is partially autobiographical, with Shane Meadows saying that most of the events that took place in the movie happened to him back when he was 11 years old. Could that be why this movie is arguably Shane Meadows' best work to date? I mean, think about that for a second. Sometimes it takes more than just great writing, great characters and believable performances for the film itself to be truly believable. With the director claiming that he went through these events himself, he's got a personal edge there, and he knows how to recreate the scenes in a way that they actually happened in real life, which is not as possible with a script that was written, as brilliantly as it may be, by somebody else. Even plucking actors out of obscurity must have helped this style. Though some of them may be familiar faces now, for most of them this was their first professional work. Meadows even encouraged them to ad-lib some of their conversations so that it felt more like real chats and not scripted lines. Underneath all the drama, tension and character development, you've got the music by Ludovico Einaudi. It carries the drama of the movie with a sort of dark and haunting beauty. If I was to provide any sort of negative criticism towards the movie, it'd be that it feels somewhat incomplete. There's just too many loose ends, and you can tell that the director intended to take these characters' stories and develop them a little bit further, which he did do as the series continued many years later. I also thought that the final 2 minutes after the climax ended the movie in a somewhat cliché manner, though this may be intentional as a throwback to other movies from the 80s. Don't let that put you off though. If you like drama or British film in general, I'd highly recommend you go out and watch it. If you enjoy the characters and stories and like to see them develop, you won't be disappointed in the 3 television series that followed.